Hello, world and universe. Welcome to the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth. And if you're new to the channel, please hit that like and subscribe button. And for all my continued followers, I want to say thank you. And this is an opinion-based video channel where I try to open your eyes and ears up to some of the travails and tribulations that take place throughout our cities, our states, our country, and sometimes around the world. And unfortunately, I got another story from one of my beloved cities, Chicago, Illinois. And random violence is swiping across the city like a panacea. As you all know, President Trump has talked about sending in a National Guard to Chicago, and there's debates on both sides with that. However, I think if you talk to people on the west side and the south side of Chicago, something needs to happen. We all know that they're understaffed with police officers. They need about 2,000 to 2,500. And there has been an innumerable amount of gun violence issues that have taken place, carjackings, assaults that are taking place in Chicago, and something needs to change. And this story is about an individual who was a barber. This was just last week. He owned a barbershop and got his life taken. I'm going to continuously do these stories about Chicago until something changes. If the National Guard is not a temporary answer, please comment and tell me what is, because people are dying senselessly each and every day in Chicago. And so we got to figure something out. And just when you think it won't happen in your city, it can. Violence is not delegated based on zip code, race, creed, or color, city or county. It can happen anywhere at any time. And an old saying that you can't accept the fruit if you don't get to the root. We got to get to the root of the problem on what's taking place in Chicago and change that narrative. And for this gentleman to die in his barbershop, I talk about there are several pillars to a sustainable city or society. And definitely in the urban market, you're talking about great schools. You need good public safety with your police department, fire department, good hospital, great hospitals, grocery stores. And especially in the urban community, you definitely need barbershops and beauty salons. Barbershops historically are the place for gossip, the place to talk about the news, the place to talk about what's going on in the surrounding areas. Barbers and beauticians know a lot about their area and their community. So if you don't watch the news, you go into a barbershop waiting to get your hair cut and get your hair done. They're going to be talking about all kinds of things: boxing, entertainment, sports, things that are relevant in the community. And to lose this gentleman in such a senseless way, allegedly 2 people came in the barbershop and tried to rob him. It is unfortunate, and something needs to change. I'm going to continue to do stories about Chicago and its self-destruction until something changes. So let's get into this one about the family mourning barbershop owner who was shot and killed in East Chatham, Chicago. He definitely put up a fight. A Chicago barbershop owner was shot and killed inside his business last week in East Chatham, police said. Relatives of the 52-year-old Mitchell Phillips say it happened during an attempted robbery last Tuesday. Now, how much money does a barber have on him to where you need to go rob him? There is something going on there. The man is just trying to do his job. He owned the business, and it has to be somebody that he knows in the neighborhood. The gossip and the rumor mill is going to go into full effect, and hopefully they'll find out who did it. He was a father and grandfather and is being remembered as police search for those responsible. And you hear this all the time, where the police, 60% of the murders and the homicides that take place in Chicago go unsolved. Is that by design? With all the surveillance technology that we have, in today's time. How are all these murders going unsolved? Is it beyond measure, and I don't get it. And I think Brandon Johnson may go down as the worst mayor of the city of Chicago ever. He's not responsible for this gentleman's death, but there is accountability with his leadership and his administration. They have to take some accountability for the amount of violence that is taking place in Chicago, and Chicago's public safety is on the brink of bankruptcy. And like I said, this can happen even in our city. St. Louis is ranked in the top 5 for violence, for homicides, for assaults per capita. So St. Louis is only 5 hours away from Chicago. This could happen anywhere at any time. Mitchell Phillips had been cutting hair in the East Chatham neighborhood for years before opening up his own barbershop back in February. His business goals were left shattered in what his family says was an attempted robbery that turned deadly. He would tell me he loved me. I wish I could tell him that again. This is the victim's twin brother, Michael Phillips said. Candles and flowers were laid outside a man's commitment to the neighborhood, right outside his barbershop. These are some of the things that this Mitchell guy kind of did in the area. And you see a lot of barbers doing this for kids that are going back to school. If a mother came in there and school was starting up, if he could give them a free haircut, he would, said Carlotta McContrell, the victim's partner of 4 years. Inside the business is where Mitchell Phillips fought for his life doing what his family says was an attempted robbery. They say that they saw a lot of blood, Michael Phillips said, which is his brother. Chairs flipped over. He definitely put up a fight. Police said the 52-year-old man was shot three times inside of his barbershop, his place of business, trying to help the community. He was shot 3 times inside his barbershop last Tuesday on 79th and Drexel in East Chatham. A notice has been plastered on the storefront, effectively shutting it down after the deadly shooting. His family says the entrance remained locked even during business hours and was only allowed open for clientele. Somebody that he trusted with his life, they took his life, McContrell said. And we all know who, for those of us that have grown up in urban cities, that 95% of these homicides and these shootings are generally by somebody that's in close proximity to the victim. They either know them, there's only 6 degrees of separation. It is amazing, as I said, that in Chicago, 60% of the homicides of black folks are going unsolved. However, 95% of those homicides are committed by somebody that the victim knew. And so how are the police not able to find out? And human beings gossip. They're going to talk. This is going to be the talk of East Chatham in Chicago for the next few months until they find out who did it. It is a shattered dream for the beloved. He was a grandfather and a father. It is a shattered dream for the beloved grandfather, and is now becoming a living nightmare for his loved ones left in grief. So this guy was a father, grandfather, a son, a brother, an uncle. They said, I just feel empty. They took my daddy. This is what his daughter, Mercedes Hudson Phillips, said. He would always say, I love you, Pops. And I loved him when I heard that. This is from his father, Charles Bondurant said. And the fact that I'll never hear that again, it's killing me. It's killing me, man. Phillips' family told ABC 7 News a witness who was inside the shop, so there was a witness, relayed to investigators that 2 men were behind the shooting. Police would not confirm those details, only saying so far that no one was in custody. So that's interesting. There was a witness. The 2 robbers didn't shoot the witness. Where does the witness play in this? And is he talking to authorities to give a description or give his ideology on or idea on who could have been the 2 perpetrators of this horrific crime? So they didn't kill the witness. They killed the barbershop owner. So that was a direct link to them going after him and with this negative energy. And the witness got a chance to get away and talk to ABC News. And of course, I'm sure he's talking to the police. This sounds like a complete mess, a somewhat of an inside job where the barber probably most likely knew the two perpetrators, and the witness may even know who the people are that committed this heinous crime. We are losing our humanity each and every day. We're living in a godless society. We are on the brink of a historic, unethical, and immoral existence that we're living in today. There's a fine line between life and death. And you're continuously hearing stories in Chicago of these kinds of random, unfortunate, despicable crimes that are taking place, and it needs to stop. And it's happening in other cities, Philadelphia, St. Louis. When are we, especially as an urban market group of people and people of color, are going to say that enough is enough? You can't even go get a haircut now without keeping your head on a swivel and worrying about if something bad is going to happen. You can't go to the grocery store. We have to say enough is enough and wrap our hands around love and humanity and living a positive, righteous, God-fearing existence. Tell me what you think. This has been the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth.